Yeah, 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 yeah. We here, we here, we on and popping. Get it, shorty. What that boy name? Lord, get it, shorty, get it, shorty. Boom, boom, boom. I'm on time. I'm on time. I'm on time. Get in to get y'all out. It's Friday night. Y'all probably got stuff to do. I don't want to hold y'all for too long. I don't want to hold y'all for too long. It's 8 o'clock. We said we was gonna get it in. It is 8 o'clock. Make sure I got my chats where they need to be. Live chat. We getting it in. Got it. New pin chat. Okay. All that right there and there. We gonna we gonna see what's going on. We gonna see what's going on. What's going on, Ronnie? What's going on, Kamoyo? Yeah, we gonna get it in. We gonna get it on it. We gonna get it on it in and pop. What's going on, Kamoyo? Yeah, we gonna need to turn that down. We gonna get it on and popping. though. I got my lovely wife in here. I got Grand Madam Tarot in here. We gonna get it on. I listen. I got some stuff I want to bring to y'all, and I want to bring to you. We're gonna talk about T'Challa. Um, his time in the MCU. I I got a lot to say about that. I got a. You been waiting on it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Big Tim dog. We gonna get into it because I got a lot to say. Well, there he is, my mentor, brother Ray Smith. We gonna get into it. Um, hopefully y'all understand, feel what I'm putting down and everything like that. And we gonna go ahead and get it underway because I ain't gonna keep it too long. It's four of us in here and everything like that. So let's start off with it. Um, a lot has been made of T'Challa's time in the MCU, right? A lot has been made. Whether you pro recast, anti recast, a lot has been made about T'Challa's time in the MCU. Some of it true, some of it laughable. Speaking of laughable, when people say he's had a complete story arc, all I know is 64 minutes and 35 seconds. That's over four movies. That's all I know. And we've had what? Some so-called people in the know. What's going on? I want to make sure I got everybody keeping all these notes. That y'all greeting each other. Y'all greeting each other. Cool, cool, cool. One nation under the groove getting down for the phone cover. That's how we do it in the Rock With Me Nation. But 64 minutes and 35 seconds. That's my pushback. Actually, that's my pushback after June 16th and June 18th of 2018. Them two come first. But let's talk about it because his time in MCU, 64 minutes and 35 seconds. I can't lie. I told my wife this, and I might be barred from being on any more panel discussions because my mindset is this. Don't say nothing stupid about Chadwick Boseman nor T'Challa in my presence. If I'm on a panel and you say something stupid, I'm going to check you right then, right there. I'm going to try and put a little sugar in it when I check you, but you're going to get checked. So I might not be on any more panel discussions in regards to Chadwick Boseman T'Challa because that's what it's going to be going forward. What's going on, Mr. Thomas? What's going on? Glad you could join us. Like I said, I get insulted when people talk about he's had a complete story. I get insulted when people say no one can replace Chadwick Boseman or no one can do it like Chadwick Boseman. And while these statements are more than likely true, they are misleading to say the least. Although Kobe Bryant, right, and nobody thought we was gonna get another Michael Jordan. Although Kobe Bryant reminded us of Michael Jordan, I think it's safe to say there were enough differences to their game for us to appreciate what each one brought to the game as we've done so with James Bond. Daniel Craig is not Roger Moore or Pierce Brosnan, and none of those people are Sean Connery, right? But we still got James Bond. We still got James Bond movie. So that said, this video here is about T'Challa and his journey in the MCU. I don't want to get it twisted. This is specifically a T'Challa video, and it's about his journey in the MCU. And it should be noted that there are those who whose knowledge of the character is limited to the MCU. They don't know anything about the character outside of the MCU, and that limited exposure has influenced how they see T'Challa, how they view T'Challa, the preeminent Black Panther. Now, I want to make sure I stay up to date with these notes here. Too many brothers that can play T'Challa. Absolutely. Absolutely. Way too many brothers that can play T'Challa. Unlike the comics, T'Challa's story starts off with his father. K-Pop, what's going on, big dog? What's going on? Diabolical Nerd. Listen, y'all give it up one time for Diabolical Nerd. Y'all give it up one time for him, because listen.
Hola,
if y'all saw the video that I did last night with the flaming logo and everything like that, I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Unlike the comics, T'Challa's story starts off with his father T'Chaka being caught in a bomb explosion in the U.S. Embassy and dying as a result of it. This is essentially what's going on, Rashad. This is essentially a wrong time, wrong place scenario, as T'Chaka's death was nothing more than collateral damage. That's all it was. His death served no purpose. This undercuts the significance of T'Challa's origin story. Oh yeah, y'all agree. Y'all go ahead and get that love out the way. So a strong argument could be made that the alteration to his origin hurt the character way more than it hurt, way more than, how can I put this? Way more than any other character. Because we didn't have any other character's origin mess with, right? In Captain America Civil War, we see T'Challa want Bucky dead, as he believes Bucky is responsible for his father's death. T'Challa was so
speak on it, babe.
T'Challa was so adamant about revenge, he chased Bucky from a rooftop to the streets and through a tunnel. If War Machine doesn't show up, I don't think Cap gets there in time to save Bucky. Compare that to Bruce Wayne's beginnings. Here to support the movie. Yes, man, appreciate you so much, Diabolical. Look at Bruce Wayne's beginnings. Compare it. His parents were deliberately murdered. Joe Chill wanted that pearl necklace. He shot Martha. He shot Thomas, right? So we see Bruce driven to protect Gotham, to make sure nobody else has to go through that. It all makes sense why he's so passionate about defending Gotham. It makes sense why he wants to take Dick, Tim, Jason, and everybody else and their mama up under his wing and everything like that, to make sure they don't go down the path that he went down. It makes sense. Well, T'Chaka's parents were murdered in a robbery attempt by Claw. That's what happened in the comics. We don't get that in the movies. This personalizes the trauma for the protagonist, i.e. T'Challa. He's got a reason to be mad. There's a reason why he's so adamant about getting back at Claw. It makes sense. It becomes a driving force for him to become the hero. Please see Peter Parker and Uncle Ben. What did Uncle Ben tell Peter? With great power comes great responsibility. Everybody and their mama say that damn line. And we got Uncle Ben being the driving force behind Peter. Whenever Peter finna go off the deep rail, he think about what Uncle Ben said to him. Batman wouldn't exist in the real world. Batman is cool, but he's played out and overrated. It's not so much that he's played out and overrated. I'm talking about the story of the character development, the reason why he's Batman, the reason for him putting on the cape and cowl. We don't get that with T'Challa. That's what I want us to stay on, because there are certain differences between how T'Challa was treated in the MCU in comparison to how other superhero characters have been treated. And that's what I want to stay on. I want to get us right there. So I love the chase scene with Black Panther on Bucky's behind. Yeah, about to tell them off in the dude. So I want to make sure I stay on point here. Like I said, please see Peter Parker, Uncle Ben. The deaths of the parents mean something. Hell, Clark's parents dying on Krypton. That meant something. That was a driving force. It's a reason why, even though he's not even the last damn Krypton, like, we need to just stop that, because we got a whole damn shrunken bottle of Candor in there and everything. But it's a reason why he fights to save people. We don't get that for T'Challa. As Derek said, being a victim, and that's all T'Chaka was. He was a victim. Zemo was gonna bomb the U.S. embassy whether he was there or not. Him and T'Challa didn't even have to be in Captain America Civil War for us to get the same result that we got in Captain America Civil War, where Steve Rogers and Tony Stark were at each other's throats. BP, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. K-Pop. He needs that character development. Black Panther didn't get to have a legacy at all. They gave T'Challa motivation to kill Claw to W'Kabi in the movie just to give. And I'm gonna come touch on that, Tim. Thank you so much for that. Batman got the most character development of any comic book character. He needs the same. Hall is Hunter in Captain America's. I don't know how. I don't know what Hunter doing in Sam Wilson comic book. Where's Akibi in the comics now? I don't know where Akibi at, but we gonna keep it going. So this, as I said, this was an attack. The attack on the U.S. embassy, that one on the UN embassy, that wasn't a personalized attack on T'Chaka. That was an direct attack on the Avengers, and it worked well. In essence, T'Chaka was nothing more than collateral damage or a victim of circumstances. Pick one. His death, we'll make sure I stay with y'all. His death means even less after Black Panther, and definitely nothing after the second Black Panther movie. From being a victim in Civil War to being chastised for leaving his nephew behind to his son doing the same with his grandson. And I'm speaking about T'Chaka. Think about this for a second. He was a victim in Civil War. He was chastised by his son, T'Challa, for leaving Eric behind. And then his son turns around and does the same thing to his grandson. So in essence, T'Chaka was his whole shtick, his whole spiel, his whole being in the MCU. Even if it's supposed to get T'Challa to want to kill Bucky, it's irrelevant. By the time we get to Black Panther 2, it's all irrelevant. So we don't get T'Challa's that motivation that he should have to go on his hero's journey. And I think many of us, even though I've been told that I'm nothing as a damn writer, there's something called a hero's journey, and we never saw him we never saw him get to go on his journey as a hero. But let people tell it, in 64 minutes and 35 seconds, he's had a complete story arc. Like I said, don't invite me on your panel, your live, or your nothing. Because if you say something like that, I'm gonna hand you your yam cakes, and I'm not gonna be hesitant to do it, and I'm not gonna be apologetic for it. Because we're gonna stop. If you love your character, I love my character. I'm not gonna misspeak on your character. You're not gonna misspeak on my character. I'm not gonna misspeak on the actor who portrayed your favorite character. You're not gonna get to misspeak on the actor that portrayed my favorite character. I'm him. So let's keep it going. So in essence, where does that lead T'Challa as a hero? With the parent being killed, but no motivation behind the parent's death, where does that lead T'Challa? It leaves him as a boat without a rudder in the MCU. Basically, no direction to go to. If we got to talk about him mourning the fact that he was snapped away for 5 minutes, we got other pressing things to deal with in Wakanda for you to be mourning the fact that everybody was returned back after the snap. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Essentially, with the portrayal that they had of T'Challa, and I want to make sure I keep up with the notes, with the portrayal that they had of T'Challa in the MCU, Captain America Civil War, and the portrayal that they had of T'Chaka, and then T'Challa in his own movie, Black Panther, he's pretty much a lame duck character with no motivation. And the comments from those in social media, on the comment board, on the message boards, it signifies that. It makes it difficult for new fans to get behind him, empathize with him, root for him. They can't even relate to the dude. They can't. And while many publicly championed the fact that he didn't kill Zemo in Captain America Civil War, those of y'all that's rocking with me, I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all done been out there in social media. Y'all know he gets ridiculed a lot. He catches a lot of flack. Mind you, nobody says anything about the fact that Ryan Coogler wrote that in the script. But him not putting hands on Zemo, him not maiming Zemo, him not murdering Zemo while they won't come out and publicly say it, we know there were a lot of people that had took issue with him not doing anything to Zemo and used that to call T'Challa a simp. Use that to say that Eric should have been the Black Panther. Use that to champion for Shuri becoming the Black Panther, or for M'Baku to become the Black Panther, because T'Challa did nothing. Ryan Coogler even doubles down on it in the second Black Panther movie by saying what? T'Challa was too noble. And fans did not like that in the character. It's a lot of superficial takes made by superficial people. Right. Zemo should have gotten them claws. Absolutely. If we're talking about, because I saw what Nate Moore said about comic book fans not being able to write movies for regular people, knowing that Zemo's mask is stuck to his face, we're not going to repeat that in the MCU. So why not have, as we talked about it, we discussed it, why not have T'Challa mark him on his face? We had, what was it, Ben Affleck marking people on their chest with a whole Batman emblem in Batman vs. Superman. What was wrong with T'Challa marking Zemo straight down the face so that his face mimicked the lines in his mask? What was wrong with that? That would have gave people tell like, yeah, that's what I did, because if you kill my daddy, that's what I'm finna. We never got that. This is what I would have did to you if those were my parents moment. We didn't get that. We didn't get that. You killed my father, and we say the living. Who having that response? What black man is having that response? Let me make sure I keep up with these notes. Just arrived at class. I was doing my homework. Hey man, as long as you're doing that homework come. Who stop that? I don't know who the hell Njobu is. It's crazy that I kind of wanted the Russo brothers to produce and direct Wakanda. That ain't crazy. Meanwhile, Batman killed more people on accident in the movie, didn't he? He did. He did. I think we saw Superman get to kill somebody. The way the Russos wrote T'Challa before the Zemo scene literally shows us that the Russo bros know more about T'Challa than Nate Moore. I'm going to say if they don't know more, they definitely care more. I'm still sick to my stomach about this whole situation with T'Challa being taken out by two disgraceful so-called melanated men. And we got to hold them accountable for it. Like, don't support any of their projects going forward. The thing is, I'm like this. If you show me you don't give two damns about me, I believe in equal energy. I ain't got to mess with you. BP needs his Rose Gallery, fine, bring back a Kibi Hunter, Madam Slave, Man. If the Russos had the Black Panther franchise, it would be lit. I believe so. And you're absolutely right. He needs his own Rose Gallery. Now, let me say this, because I want to make sure that I keep on it. Now, while it might not be spoken on publicly, as I alluded to, T'Challa being more angry at Claude than Zemo made no sense at all. And this only served to complicate his character development even further. Making it worse was him being abandoned by W'Kabi for a stranger. I'm finna come to you, Mr. Rube. I'm finna come to you when you're talking about W'Kabi. I wish we first BP about a fatherless child, Killmonger, Wakanda forever. Continue on with the same legacy of Broken Home with TJ Jr., written by a brother that takes pleasure in killing whole. And I don't understand it because the brother grew up with his mom and dad. Civil War is still my #1 favorite movie. I can appreciate that. I can, absolutely can. Oh, I'm done with the MCU, my brother, until T'Challa's recap. Absolutely. So let's get here and talk about it for a second. W'Kabi. Steve had Bucky. Let's keep it 1,000. Steve had Bucky. Tony had Rhodey. Thor had the Warriors 3. T'Challa had Nakia, okay, which basically amounts to Steve having Agent Carter, Tony having Pepper, and Thor having Jane or Lady Sif. Pick one. But where was his best friend? Even if we go into Black Panther 2, with T'Challa being recast, he doesn't have a best friend. His best friend turned on him. Okay. He would have been walking into the second movie without a best friend and seemingly no replacement, a la Sam Wilson. See, Steve had Bucky in his first movie. Steve walked over into the second movie. Bucky gone, introduced Sam Wilson. Steve got a best friend. Who would have been T'Challa's best friend in Black Panther 2? He didn't have a best friend by the end of Black Panther. Everybody else either lost their best friend and picked up another one in the second movie, or they took that best friend from the first movie to the second movie. He's not even worthy of having a friend. Why is that important? T'Challa has W'Kabi, Storm, and Zuri. No, not in the movies he didn't. Wakabi's arrested. Stay with it. Stay with it, Nico. Stay with it. Stay with it. Steve was not betrayed. Bucky was brainwashed. Rhodey never turned his back on Tony. He just told him to get his ish together. Stay with it. The Warriors 3, they died for Thor. They did. What did Wakabi do? Stay with it. Stay with it. And we're not talking about the females, because all the other heroes had their females too. So we're not talking about that. So stay with it. Steve versus T'Challa should have been a longer fight. I hate that they added Rhodey in that fight. Watch this. So no Wakanda, no Taku, no Zuri. Right. None of that. See, we talking about the male friends. He didn't have a male friend. I don't want to talk about the females like that, because everybody else had their female. They had their lady and they had their best friend. T'Challa, his best friend turned his back on him. Something we never saw the others do. Bucky died fighting beside Steve. Wakabi did what? Got arrested for turning his back on T'Challa. That's why I said it's the subliminal programming. And what we were told about the character on the big screen didn't necessarily. And let's be clear, Chadwick Boseman, but cared nothing for the character about Chadwick. So they can't tell you anything for that, because it's a difference between the movie fan base and comic book fan base. There was a segment that went for the women of Wakanda and nothing else. They went to go see leading character, understanding that all the other characters played important roles as well. But there's quite a few people. It might have been some people that went to go see this movie because they had a lot of black women. Futurism? Yeah, we're going to go support that. Writing by Ryan having Wakabi is lagging. Okay. Oh, we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I appreciate y'all letting me know though. I appreciate y'all letting me know we lagging and everything like that. Y'all keep a brother in the know. So y'all keep me up. Y'all let me know if it's still lagging. So you can look at the comments in the message boards, and we didn't been on the message boards in YouTube. I'm gonna say we didn't been on we didn't been on message boards in YouTube. We didn't been on message boards, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can read the ignorant comments all day long, all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Their knowledge is lacking. We know it. They be quick to get in their feelings. Now I never understood that for the life of me, why they're quick to get in their feelings. Let's hit that like button, help the algorithm. Hey, I appreciate y'all for rocking. Like I said, I appreciate y'all for just letting me know what's going on and everything like that. But I want to make sure, like I said, I want to stay on it. So you can usually tell those who have something bad to say about T'Challa and how much knowledge they have based on what 1 or 2 bits of information that they give you. What they gonna say? Should and Eric been Black Panther? That's one of the things they're gonna say. They're gonna come back and say what? T'Challa died. That's what they're gonna say. That's it. You're not gonna get anything about a Casper Code. They don't even care anything about the comic books. So that tells you right then and there, the information that they're giving you, it's not for them actually reading the comic books. The information that they're giving you is actually word of mouth. And they want to go back and forth with you. You can't even get them to go read the comic books. Not only can you not get them to go read the comic books, but they're perfectly fine lying on Chadwick Boseman, right? Message boards full of it. Wherever we go, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, they perfectly fine, which means they ain't even listened to any Chadwick Boseman audio. They haven't read an article about Chadwick Boseman. They haven't listened to Chadwick Boseman. So they just find being loud and wrong. Way too many of us in our community take pride in being loud and wrong. But you would think that people that have so much to say privately would have the same energy publicly. And what do I mean when I say publicly? Well, I've had quite a few people come at me. And I think those of us that's rocking, that recasting, and we got our platforms and everything like that, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. The difference is, and when I'm not going to say a difference, I don't want to have them conversations behind closed doors. I'm not Meek Mills, and ain't nobody around here Drake. No, holler at me in public and let's see what it looked like. That's where the problem comes in at. And I don't care who they are. I don't care what their channel is. I don't care how many subscribers that they have and everything like that. I don't care how popular they are. I don't care how well liked they are. It's a reason It's a reason why they telling you little to nothing about the character and actor. It's because they know little to nothing about the character and actor. And when they come after recasters privately on these social media platforms, what they will never do, whether their name is whether they got an ascot that they wear on their show all the time, whether they wear glasses all the time, whether they got my same pigmentation, whether they look like whether they got lighter pigmentation than me and call themselves the grandfather, this, that, and the third. What they will never ever do, they can challenge me privately all day. They won't bring me publicly on their platform because that would be them getting embarrassed all day. As a matter of fact, this is why they won't have anybody of any knowledge when it comes to T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman on their platform, because they're more comfortable sneaking around in the dark like the snakes that they are than having a grown ass conversation about a character and an actor that they claim to know so much about. I would avoid me too. I wouldn't have me on there. But don't come at me privately thinking I won't come for you publicly. I don't care anything about your feelings. And we should, as recasters, as people that love the actor, people that love the character, we shouldn't give two damns about their feelings. Because when they said they was gonna make a black Superman, people that was perfectly fine with a Caucasian Clark Kent, let it be known they weren't trying to hear nothing about no damn black Superman. Okay, when they said they was doing away with He-Man or getting ready to make He-Man a female and everything like that, gender bend him, you know what happened? You had quite a few males that didn't give two damns about what anybody had to say. They didn't want anything happening to He-Man. They needed him to, matter of fact, even when hell, Grayskull was made black. How much pushback do we get about that? Right. So don't let anybody make you feel insignificant or you wrong for knowing what you know when it comes to recasting T'Challa, when it comes to telling the story of T'Challa, when it comes to telling the story of Chadwick Boseman. You got it. They cowards at the end of the day. And as I like to say, I don't believe in talking too much to stupid people. I believe stupidity is contagious. So the less I talk to them, the better. But let's think about this, because I want to keep this going. T'Challa, his representation in the MCU, his journey, because we didn't already seen over 4 movies, 64 minutes and 35 seconds. That ain't it. Let's talk about these what if shows though. They are proud to know nothing. Who raised them? Back in the day, I would have said they mama, because that's a mama joke to me. Who raised them? They mama. Hey, I had to get into a debate with a few people about Black Panther not being about the mantle. It's quite annoying to say the least. I don't talk to stupid people, Ruben. The way I look at it like this, you have people that in regards to Black Panther that on what they are the subject matter expert on, you can't tell them nothing, and you never would. I'm going to say this, and it's going to be a shame when I say it. The only reason why Black people that know about Black Panther get pushed back is because we're not white. I'm going to say that one more time. The only reason why Black people that know what they know about Black Panther, T'Challa, Wakanda, Chadwick Boseman get any type of pushback from anybody is because they Black. If we was white, we wouldn't get that type of pushback. Think about it. Kevin Feige came to the stage 48 hours later and trumped what the brother said 48 hours prior to. How did he do that? Because he white. We still on the plantation. We will still take the other person's word before we take the Black person's word. No matter how articulate the Black person is, no matter how knowledgeable the Black person is, it don't matter. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, Mr. Agape. Oh, boy, look here. That's what I'm talking about. So let's look at the MC. Let's look at the What If series. Let's look at the What If series. Because people say there's so much to say about the What If series. Okay, well, what if T'Challa became Star-Lord? Well, in the main MCU, we'd already seen him get thrown off a cliff. And I'm talking about T'Challa. In the 1999 universe, we'd already seen T'Challa get thrown off a cliff, right? Where if it wasn't for the water being damn near freezing temperatures, he would have died. That's fair, right? Then after that, he gets snapped to death for 5 years. That happened. That happened. We know he being killed off in Black Panther 2. Kevin Feige came to the stage December 10th and said they was getting rid of the dude, right? He said that. Okay, well, in the What If He Became Star-Lord episode, he was kidnapped. He was kidnapped and then lied to about his family being gone. I believe in my heart of hearts, Dwayne McDuffie would have had a whole ass conniption about that. But nobody black working for Marvel said anything. Let me say this one more time. In the What If episode where he became Star-Lord, he was kidnapped and then lied to about his family's existence. To my world history, American history, African history students, scholars, that don't remind you of something? Like, no, that don't, that, because that actually happened. That don't, the black child got kidnapped and lied to about that. That don't remind you. Okay. Hold on. Don't get too far ahead of me, Mr. Gray. Hold on. I'm gonna get there. And us T'Challa Black Panther fans disappointed what they said. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get there. Because that was the first What If episode he showed up in. Okay. And what if the Avengers became zombies? I guess in this universe, the heart-shaped herb can, although it don't prevent you from dying from a mysterious illness, it will prevent you from turning into a zombie. And yes, I'm being petty as hell. Yeah. But in this universe, because he can't turn into a zombie, the Vision has him strapped down for him to be lunch food, zombie food for Wanda.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So hold on. Let me go down this. Because we said this the journey of T'Challa in the MCU. I said that, right? I said that. I didn't want to be misleading. So in the first movie, hold on. And I say first movie, Captain America's Civil War, his daddy get killed. Victim of circumstance. Dude wasn't even aiming for his daddy. His daddy was just collateral damage. Okay. We get to his movie. His best friend betrayed him, turned his back on him. Now, I don't know how long they be friends. I know how long they've been friends in the comics. This must have been some new friendship over here in the movie, the 1999 universe. His best friend betrayed him. He get his ass thrown over a waterfall. If it ain't freezing temperatures, he taking a long ass dirt nap. After he come back, he gets snapped to death. He gone for 5 whole ass years. He come back. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but his sister had to recreate the heart-shaped herb, even though he already had the heart-shaped herb in his system. His ass died again. That's the 1999 live action universe. Okay, let me turn over here to the 1999 animated universe. Let me see if I got this right. He get kidnapped as a child. Black child get kidnapped by some people that's not from his home, and they take him far away from his home and lie to him about his whole family, make him adopt a whole ass name, a whole ass language, and a whole ass philosophy of life. That story sounds real ass familiar. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Then lunch food for Wanda. Okay, I ain't finished. What if Killmonger saved Tony Stark? Hold on. We have a sonic blaster created by Tony Stark, which is able to kill T'Challa. When the sonic blaster Shorty created, and the 1999 universe then said Shorty is smarter than Tony Stark. So the sonic blasters that she got aimed directly at Eric Killmonger only served to piss him off. But the one that Eric got kills T'Challa. I'm waiting on y'all to tell me when this dude had his heroic moment. Are we saying the What If cartoons are part of his story arc too? Because if that's the case, there's some horrible ass story arcs. Like, I don't want none of that. Remember the What If episode when Killmonger manipulated Tony and killed T'Challa and rolled the laugh out loud the way T'Challa went out was just that part right there. They tried pulling that from the comic from the Marvel. They disappointed with that decision. MCU forgot all about the heart-shaped herb serum in T'Challa's veins. The MCU ignored the comic book fans completely. Make it make sense. Exactly. So when we're looking at this, mind you, there gonna be some that's watching this video that'll make excuses for everything that I just said. But you shouldn't have to make excuses for the obvious. You shouldn't. It should just be right there. You shouldn't have to make excuses for what's obvious. The only time you have to make an excuse for something is when something look out of whack, something look out of order. So Marvel kept intentionally mind you, you would have thought they would have said, somebody would have read the room, Kamoyo, and said, hey, we killing off the live action character. I know what we got planned for these cartoons, but this ain't gonna look right. But I want to stay on this. Because like I said, they're gonna be some that's gonna watch this video and they're gonna make excuses for everything that I said.
No, they ain't. Whoop.
You should, like I said, you shouldn't have to make excuses for the obvious. And the obvious is this. This character has not gotten a treatment befitting of a king since he's been in the MCU. T'Challa came into the MCU as a prince. He ain't even been treated like a prince since he's made his entrance into the MCU. To say the least, he's been treated like a peasant and nothing more. His sister threw the bird up at him. She downloaded a video of him flying across the room after he kicked a dummy, right? M'Baku insulted him at Warriors Falls. Most comic what if stories are dark and depressing, but it's not a big deal because the 616 versions are still good, unlike MCU T'Challa. And D Steezel, you are absolutely right. The heart-shaped herb can even make T'Challa immune to sickness like in comics. Yep. What if Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore did the same for other black characters like Luke Cage? They better not get near no more black characters. That's what they better not do. How did Killmonger know the proper frequency for T'Challa suit in the first place? Oh yeah, it's what if, which sounds like a brainstorming session at the writer's table. What it is, and I hate to say this because it's too telling, it's too obvious. We will come up with any way all day, every day to come up with a way to kill T'Challa. Like, that's just it. Like I said, he has not gotten the treatment befitting of a king since he was introduced in the MCU. To say the least, he's been treated like a peasant. He's got superhuman cat-like reflexes, but we're ashamed to put that on film. We don't want to put his superhuman cat-like reflexes on film. He's not fighting Clint Barton to a standstill. He didn't bitch slap Clint Barton across the airport. That's what didn't happen. He ain't standing still when Natasha shoot her widow stings at him. First of all, how did T'Challa was able to track him with her widow stings? The dude has cat-like reflexes. She not that damn fast. He has superhuman cat-like reflexes. You just standing there pointing your widow sting at him ain't finna take him down. He ain't finna be there after you release the widow sting, but we can't get that. I'm scared for Monica Rambeau and Blue Marvel in the Marvels movie. Man, just stand strong. Let them know what you're not gonna tolerate. Who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes, Richard Pryor? Right. I'm terrified of going to be shown after what happened to T'Challa. What we have to do is, Ruben, and I've been saying this, is I think we spoke volumes. I think TJ was what they thought was going to be a compromise. He wasn't. We let it be known. This movie is probably going to finish anywhere between 750 million, maybe 800, but it's not going to reach the 1 billion mark. And when you take into consideration, it took 250 million to make the movie, they barely breaking even. So despite what Angela Bassett said about this movie being bigger and better than the first movie, despite her Oscar winning performance and everything like that, we, the recasters, have spoken, and we need to keep speaking. Keep going on these message boards. Keep paying homage to T'Challa and everything like that. Keep paying homage to these other black characters that we want to see on screen, and let it be known, if you do not present these black characters in their proper light, we're not just going to give you our monies. We don't give a damn who the director is. We don't give a damn who the executive is. We don't give a damn what shade the cast and crew, ethnicity, culture they belong to. If you don't portray these characters with the same dignity that you portray them other characters, we don't give two damns. We're not giving you our money. Period. My bad. I ain't mean to get on my soapbox. But like I said, I've been dealing with anti-recasted clowns. That BP2 won't break even on the budget. Man, listen, you ain't gotta go back and forth with them, sure. Them numbers gonna roll in. Them numbers gonna tell the truth. Numbers never lie. You ain't gotta go back and forth with them. I be trying to tell Mr. Smith, I refuse to go back and forth with somebody and I know more than you do. That's like me having to go back and forth with you about my life and I lived it. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you about my life and you ain't lived my life. I'm not gonna have no conversation with somebody about Chadwick Boseman when I know they ain't even put that damn work in and they not even honoring that man. I'm not gonna go back and forth with somebody about T'Challa when the only damn thing they can tell me is Shorty and Eric Killmonger. The fact that they don't mention Casper Cole says a whole hell of a lot, because that dude became Black Panther before Shorty did. So I don't want to hear nothing they got to say. Not a damn thing. TJ isn't a compromise to be real.
Now what thing, babe?
TJ ain't a compromise. I'm with you, Mr. Bedford. To be real, I think Bassett was towing the company line. She was. She said the movie was going to have issues without T'Challa. She also had apprehension about the movie being made. She should have still. She should have stood strong in the paint. And that's all I'm gonna say to her. I love her. She's a beautiful woman, a beautiful actress. Her husband, Courtney B. Vance, he's actually one of the reasons why I go so hard in the paint for recast T'Challa, because Courtney B. Vance is an accomplished actor, and we damn sure should have seen this brother on more projects than what we've seen him on. To be perfectly honest with you, that's how I feel about it. They told to do more research on my numbers game, where it's hard to get it. Listen, they know more about their favorite rapper than they do about Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa, and they need to just keep it right there. But I want to make sure I stay on point here, because I said cat-like reflexes. We remember that scene from Infinity War when both T'Challa and Steve were running toward the Dark Order. Usain Bolt is not as fast as a big cat. Usain Bolt is arguably the fastest man in the world. He ain't keeping up with no big cat. Steve Rogers is not running stride for stride with T'Challa. He might be stronger than T'Challa, and there's an argument is there because T'Challa has the proportionate strength, speed, and senses of a Black Panther. We never having these conversations about Peter Parker, who got the proportionate strength of a spider. We never had these conversations about what Peter Parker got going on. You know, he got the proportionate strength of a speed. He got the proportionate strength and speed of a spider. Oh, okay, cool. He jumping all over the place, got spider sense and everything. He darting and dipping. It's hard to get a track on Peter. In the MCU, it's hard to get a track on Peter. Why is it so damn easy to get a track on T'Challa? I'm just asking. And I'm asking that question because T'Challa, who has wrestled and taken down a rhino in both the comics and on the big screen. I've only seen Steve Rogers hold a helicopter at bay with one hand, one place. That's in the MCU. I ain't never seen Steve Rogers do, I'm finna hold a helicopter that's getting ready to take off. I ain't seen that in the comics. I ain't seen that. I ain't seen that. Come on. You see, Mr. Bedford, I ain't finna argue with you. See what you're saying? Steve Rogers isn't stronger than T'Challa. I ain't finna argue with you on that one. What you want me to say to you? I know the character. I ain't finna, watch this. I ain't finna be willfully stupid and go back and forth with you about that one. A human-sized spider could lift a car like it's nothing. This is the last weekend for the movie to make real money. It's over when Avatar shows up. Yep, show is. Show is. So let's keep it right here. Fast forward to Black Panther 2. And even though we're asked to suspend our belief in reality, we're inexplicably asked to double down on T'Challa needing to retake the heart-shaped herb. I know anti-recast is going to say something, but why did he need to retake the heart-shaped herb? And last we checked, at the end of Endgame, right? Because he had just finished putting hands on the Black Order with everybody else and their mama, right? He was standing up there with his mama and his sister. He ain't look sick to me. What happened? Stay with that for a second. And all this talk about respect, stay with this for a second, because I asked the question, I said, what happened? And all this talk about respect, no one had enough respect to name the fictional disease that killed the fictional character. We don't even know what T'Challa died from in this 1999 universe, but this was supposed to be respect. That means not only didn't the director have enough respect to marry the character to Nakia, he didn't have enough respect to name the disease that killed the character. So essentially, not only didn't you have enough respect for the character, you ain't have enough respect to name the disease that killed. In essence, you had no respect. But this was about respect. Okay. 1610, Cap ain't stronger than 616 T'Challa. No, he ain't strong. Cancer is what killed T'Challa? No. What cancer? Because they never said it in the movie. And I know that ain't what killed it, because he's still walking around in the comics. So you might need to go get some of that money from Ryan Coogler. You need Ryan Coogler to pay you, because he never said what killed him, and I'm not offering no answers. So I'm not gonna do that. T'Challa and Peter both handled Bucky pretty easily, where Cap had problems with him. Facts. They used Chadwick Boseman's death for a fictional story. Ain't making no sense. I'm gonna come talk to that, Terrell, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because we're talking about T'Challa's legacy in the MCU. Ironically, We're not talking about Chadwick Boseman's legacy in the MCU. But watch this. So, those who say the character should have died with Chadwick and went to go see Black Panther, they didn't go to see the character die in Black Panther 2. They went to see Chadwick Boseman's funeral in Black Panther 2. Let me say that one more time. Those who say the character should have died with Chadwick Boseman and went to go see Black Panther 2, they didn't go to see Black Panther 2 for T'Challa. They went to go see Black Panther 2 to experience Chadwick Boseman's funeral. That's sad and pathetic in and of itself. They use Chadwick, let me see, 616 T'Challa, Wakanda cured cancer, remember shoulder, and 1610 Hulk is weaker than 616 Hulk. Ultimate Cap is OP, the kid, yeah, in Reginald Hutland run. So, that respect thing, like I said, those who say the character should have died with Chadwick, they went to go see Chadwick Boseman's funeral. They didn't go to Black Panther 2. Some of them didn't even go see Black Panther 2 to see Shuri be the Black Panther, which might be why they only included her in the third act as being Black Panther. No, they went to go see Chadwick Boseman's homegoing, which is crazy because it was online. They went to see Chadwick Boseman's funeral. Considering the actor stated he wanted people to see the character and not him, thank you, Roland Martin, we kind of dishonored him by doing what we wanted to do, what the cast and crew wanted to do, and not what he asked that they do.
All right now.
See the character and not him. As Anthony Hamilton would say, here's the shame of it all. Much like we kept saying addition by subtraction isn't really addition. The same way Chadwick spoke of how they always pit our top stars against one another, black stars against one another, never allowing us to have multiple black actors at the same time, be on film at the same time. We somehow allowed ourselves to be convinced that in order to celebrate Chadwick Boseman, the character he portrayed had to be killed off. I don't know how we got that. To honor Chadwick Boseman, we got convinced, not by his brother. Let me say that one more time. To honor Chadwick Boseman, whose brother said, I would want him to be in it. We, as a people, as race, as a fan base, we allowed ourselves to be convinced that in order to celebrate Chadwick Boseman, despite what his older brother said, his oldest brother said, we got convinced that it was best to kill the character off. In essence, we didn't honor anything Chadwick Boseman stood for. We didn't honor his words. We didn't honor his family's words. We honored the cast and crew. I thought this was about Chadwick Boseman. I had no idea it was about the cast and crew. Which is crazy because Marvel Comics managed to honor Chadwick while keeping T'Challa around, alive and well. And maybe that's where the problem lies. T'Challa is a comic book character, and he's never been written by someone who's a Black Panther fan. We can even go back to, what's the dude, Christopher Priest, when he said, oh, you want me to write about the dude in the kitty cat costume? Even when Ta-Nehisi Coates talks about his interview with Ryan Coogler, he tells you who his favorite superheroes are. Black Panther isn't mentioned, not one time. And these are the guys that are responsible for writing these characters. These are the people that are being entrusted to write this character for no other reason than the pigmentation of their skin. And if you were to go read the character, well, I can tell you personally, Christopher Priest does not know how to write a character in Africa, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure he could write a white dude being in England. I'm pretty sure that John Ridley would have no problem writing somebody that acted like they were alive during Shakespearean time. But none of these writers can write a brother from Africa. I find that damn odd because they all want this dude to come to the United States. It was a reason why Christopher Priest brought T'Challa to the United States. It was a reason why Christopher Priest put T'Challa away and put Casper Cole in there. It was a reason why we sat up here and we wanted to bring in Shuri. because we got that sister that's young and everything like that. But I'm gonna give Reginald Huntley credit. At the very least, what he did, he still had her engage herself like she was from Africa. But John Ridley come around, oh, this dude speaking like he from America. Matter of fact, hell, Wakanda already been colonized. The thing is, Wakanda wasn't colonized by white people. Wakanda was colonized by Black Americans. Might not like that one. Planet Fanatics is either live or about to be, but one of the topics of the thumbnail say Joe Blow supports recast T'Challa. Yeah, he did. Joe Blow said he does support recast T'Challa. Just like Christopher Reeve, people will go for a funeral. Ultimate Cap, yep. Want to make sure I stay on point here. And I'm the only one who think Ryan Coogler put his own experience with Chadwick on to everyone else. Arts for, I would say yes, but Ryan Coogler was raised up in a good home. Like, if anybody that goes Google Ryan Coogler and everything like that, he was raised in a home with his mother and father. And he had a very good upbringing. Like, now his father was a juvenile counselor and everything like that. So he might be recounting stories that his father told him. But Ryan Coogler didn't grow up in that type of household. I think Yella Noel should be recast in the role. I like him, Mr. Bedford. I can't front. I like that. I've actually seen Yella Noel do some action movies too. So he'd be perfect for the role. Roly Poly Martin. Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about. Coogler fans are ghoulish. Don't know what to say about his fans because I don't know what they capping for. MCU cap seems to have 1610 strength but 616 personality. True. Ryan kept in the dark equals we all kept in the dark. Throw Ryan's eyes. They did the complete opposite of what he stood for. The exact opposite. Walking Dead the same way. No more than one or two black people at the time. I guess all black characters in fantasy have the Highlander syndrome where there can only be one. You're not wrong. Queen Storm about the box with Emperor Vulcan. You and Mark should cover that when it drops, Theo. We are. We already on top of it, Mr. Thomas. We on top of it. Yeah, we on top of it. I see. All right. Now, as I was saying, because I don't want to get off topic. Those of us that have been entrusted to write T'Challa haven't wrote T'Challa with the best. We don't even care for T'Challa. The truth is he's a comic book character and he's never been written by anyone that's a Black Panther fan. A strong argument could be made that T'Challa's most vicious fans, his most fervent fans, were Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Since then, MCU Wakanda scenes more for African Americans, not Africans. Too many racist stereotypes with American verbal lines. That part, all that you just said. So let's take a look at this. So whether it was taken for granted or not, it wasn't just black folks that went to go see Black Panther. It wasn't. And that was the biggest misconception out there. I think people felt like they could run over this character because this character is black, because he's a black male. They thought that only black men cared about this character. You're bad. There were actually Black Panther fans, T'Challa fans that went to go see the movie, no different than Bruce Wayne and Peter Parker fans go to see Batman and Spider-Man movies. The message that was intercepted by recast T'Challa, boycott Black Panther 2, was that a black man's story doesn't matter and can easily be replaced. We are here to tell you that going forward, that message, as well as messages similar to it, will always be intercepted by recast T'Challa, boycott Black Panther 2, and one Mr. Gerald Theophilus Butler, because I do love entertainment. I do love television shows. I do have an affinity for comic books. I do love my superheroes, and I do love my people. I also believe that, as watch the dude say, my Frankie Beverly used to say, we are one. So what I'm not finna do is I'm not finna be up here and I'm not finna let you mislead people anymore. I don't care who you got doing it. And this is directed at Marvel. So I suggest you get your ish together, because the days of a brother not calling y'all out on y'all BS, that's a wrap. I got you going forward. You better handle black characters, all POC characters, heterosexual and LGBTQ characters, the same way you would handle them if they were a white male. I'm not gonna let it slide. I'm not gonna let it ride. The Rock With Me Nation, recast T'Challa. Boycott Black Panther 2. Comic book fans, superhero fans, we're not going for that. If it wasn't for us, and it's not the casual fan, we need to own this. If it wasn't for the comic book fan, the casual fan wouldn't have not one damn movie to go see. They owe us. We don't owe them a damn thing. They owe us gratitude. The movie studios, whether it be Warner Brothers for DC products, whether it be Disney for Marvel products, you owe us, the fans that rock with these characters, not just in the movies, but on the TV shows, in the comic book shops, and in the damn toy stores, and in the clothing aisle. You owe us. We don't owe you a damn thing. You want us to keep coming to buying your product? Because we just showed you at the end of phase 4 how we get down. You want phase 5, phase 6, phase 7, and 8 to look like it's worth something? Start showing proper respect to comic book fans, or we will tank the whole damn Marvel Studio superhero program like it's nothing. You got She-Hulk fans pissed off. I'm not a She-Hulk fan. See how that go? You got Shang-Chi fans pissed off. I'm not a Shang-Chi fan, but I can empathize. You got Miss Marvel fans pissed off. I'm not a Miss Marvel fan, but I can empathize. In essence, you are literally pissing off every demographic when it comes to comic books. We got enough old comic books to satisfy us until we're dead and gone. So if you want our money going forward, get it right. That T'Challa that passed away, I don't like what I'm getting ready to say, because I really want Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa to be treated with respect. So here's how you're going to do this. The T'Challa that you buried, that was a scroll. The T'Challa that came back from being snapped away, that was the T'Challa that Chadwick Boseman portrayed. Figure it out. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me and everything like that. I do. T'Challa stories matter. Don't let anybody else tell you any different, regardless of who they call themselves, because what I've seen is this. If they're a YouTuber and they want to sit up here and talk about T'Challa's this, that, there, and the third, as far as his screen time, that I can tell you for a fact they don't know about T'Challa, don't really keep do dams about T'Challa, ain't done the research about T'Challa, and ain't done the research about Chadwick Boseman. They just talking with their damn feelings. That's when you need to expose their ass, because ain't nobody got time for your feelings. We here to talk facts. T'Challa is our character. We're going to own that. We're going to fight for him. We're going to keep him front line and center. Y'all make sure y'all rocking with me. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and everything like that. I see us out there and I say us because one nation under groove. One man is not an island unto himself. I see us out there on Twitter making sure we keeping T'Challa on Front Street on full blast. Y'all keep doing it. Don't let nobody tell you that it's wrong. Just like they got fan groups for Bruce Wayne, Superman, and all these other people, T'Challa can have this fan base. And shout out to Chadwick Boseman for making sure that we're going to keep T'Challa front and center. Peace. I'm absolutely going to be done after. You're going to be done after Secret Wars. We already fighting a Secret War. I'm about to be out. I'm going to holler at y'all. I left the MCU after Love and Thunder. I won't be back till T'Challa's back. Say that one more time. Peace.